Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Korean Atlanta Mentorship. My name is Cam, according to some of you in the comments, Korean Atlanta Mentorship. And we're going to react to America's $1 trillion credit card bill. So, according to ABC News, credit card balances first surpassed $1 trillion last August. And let's go ahead and watch this video from CNBC and see what they have to say about that.
The U.S. economy has been on recession watch for months now, and so far, the all-important American consumer has been holding strong, keeping those recession forecasts from becoming true.
Consumer is still spending.
Consumer is in better shape. If they have money, they're going to spend it.
Consumers continuing to be resilient.
The consumer health has been resilient so far this year.
Consumer resilience is about to be tested. Americans now carry more than $1 trillion in credit card debt going into the holiday shopping
I have a feeling that consumer health just means they like to buy a lot of stuff, not that they're financially sound. But let's keep going.
season. The Federal Reserve's rate hikes have caused average interest rates for credit cards to spike to more than 22%. Rates on retail credit cards are even higher, nearing 29% on average. Despite this, the holiday season shows no signs of a slowdown, as each shopper is prepared to spend almost $900 on average this year, according to an NRF survey.
The US consumers walking towards a cliff, basically.
The state of the consumer will be in focus in the post-holiday season, as economists will want to know, can American consumers handle racking up a record amount of credit card debt, and if it will lead into more delinquencies.
You know what I don't understand? Okay, so especially as an adult, I honestly don't like receiving gifts from people because they always select, and this is just me being pickier as I'm getting older, an inferior version of a product that I don't want. You know what I mean? Like, has that ever happened to you? So let's say like you're a coffee nut, and I don't drink coffee, but let's say you're a coffee nut and you like coffee products. So like one of your friends or family members just gets you this random, maybe like cheap $100 coffee maker, and it's like, hey, you love coffee, so let me get you this $100 coffee maker. And it's like you like, and then they make you feel bad for not wanting to accept it because you wanted like the $1,000 or $2,000 coffee maker. You know what I mean? You get where I'm coming from? That's why I hate it when people buy me gifts. It's like the episode of Seinfeld, the regifting, right? But yeah, let's let's keep watching. All right, let's continue.
This is the first time credit card debt has topped $1 trillion in America. That amount includes both revolving balances and balances paid off at the end of the billing cycle.
Consumers are increasingly
But okay, that's kind of stupid. Shouldn't you only count the revolving balances? Because if the balances are paid off at the end of the cycle, unless I'm misunderstanding this, like that's not anything to worry about. That's just your general expenses that you're paying, that you have to pay for, food, gas, insurance, that has nothing to do with credit card debt. It's just the only difference between that and the credit card is who's initially paying, right? Let me kind of play that one more time.
Cycle.
Consumers are increasingly reliant.
That amount includes both revolving balances and balances paid off at the end of the billing cycle.
Balances paid off at the end. What? All right, we'll just keep going.
Consumers are increasingly reliant on credit cards to finance purchases of everyday goods and services, and that's because they're just getting a lot more expensive. At the same time, their wages are not increasing at the same pace as inflation, and that makes it more difficult because as the credit card balance increases, it can be more challenging for consumers to pay down that debt.
Ooh, how do you pay down that debt? Oh, is that something we talk about a lot in this channel? I don't know. Oh, all right. It sucks that I'm not on the Google searches, although some of you told me I should have 100,000 subs by now. Probably because I don't know SEO and marketing, but it's okay. Eventually I will get there and I will be number one. I will be number one, but I'm not in the first searches on Google's. At least I think I'm on YouTube. All right, let's keep watching.
Excess savings that Americans lined their pockets with during the COVID-19 pandemic is largely now spent. High inflation and interest rates have made everything more expensive. Normal costs like groceries, gas, and housing are all rising, Add in the resumption of student loan repayments, and it's creating the perfect rising debt storm.
Americans are skipping out on some of their credit card payments because household budgets are squeezed due to higher borrowing costs.
Another factor for the rising debt is the increase of credit card users. More than 70 million new accounts have been opened since 2019. That year, 65% of Americans owned a credit card. And after a contraction in issuance due to the pandemic, the amount of Americans owning a credit card rose to 69% in 2023.
Credit cards can be like power tools. They could be really useful or they could be dangerous. It's all about how you use them.
Typically, after the holiday season, credit card debt levels drop as consumers pay down their shopping balances. But at the start of 2023, it remained unchanged, and now shoppers are prepared to spend even more than 2022.
Holiday shoppers do plan to spend more, according to a survey and the forecast done by the National Retail Federation. They found that people plan to spend about $40 more than they did last year. And
Like, I don't know, because of inflation, I feel like $40 is like $4 now. You know, it's like, how do you even keep track of that? Okay, I spend an extra like if I go to a grocery store, I buy two things, it's like $40 now. So I don't know what you're talking about. Let's keep going.
And that could be in part because of higher prices in some categories. There is still this deal-seeking mentality for items. And so that may mean that people are going to look for whatever is on sale, along with seeking newness.
You want to know something? Sales, for the most part, are scams. And what do I mean by that? Like, is if you ever go into a retail store, like, name a time when something isn't on discount. You know what I mean? Like if I go into, let's say, the local supermarket, there's always going to be this thing where it's like it's right now $8, but it's $2 and 99 cents or something like that. And again, sometimes there are legitimate discounts, but most of the time it's just a psychological ploy, right?
Americans planning to flood the mall with their retail credit cards may be shocked when the bill comes, because those cards are carrying a higher interest rate than years prior. In fact, some are starting to rise to rates that only subprime borrowers see, rates exceeding 33%.
Some retailers have already noticed is that credit card delinquencies have ticked up. And that may mean that people are struggling to make payments and could again be a warning sign.
You want to know what the ultimate sin is for a lender? Not making your payment, right? They don't care. In fact, they would actually prefer you not to pay them off early, but not making a payment, especially over 90 days, is like the ultimate sin, right? In the lending world.
Big box retailers like Macy's and Nordstrom already flagged the slowdown of repayments on their credit cards over the summer, showcasing a potential risk to retail revenue this season. The average consumer has around a $6,000 credit card balance, $400 to $600 monthly student loan payment, high rent, and car loan payments. Americans may wonder if it's even possible to keep their heads afloat.
The best tip for credit card debt payoff actually is to get a 0% balance transfer card. So you move your existing high-cost debt to this new card with a 0% promotional rate.
Credit card balances saw the largest increase of all debt types this year, $45 billion. And compared to other debt types, credit cards typically hold the highest interest rates.
Any extra money should probably go to the credit card, just because that's likely to be your highest cost debt by a wide margin.
Why not dump all of your paycheck into the credit card? Interesting. Might be a better idea. I don't know.
A boom for consumers may come from Congress's Capping Credit Card Interest Rates Act. If passed, the bill would cap APR for credit cards at 18%, prevent credit card companies from imposing new fees to evade the cap, and impose penalties on credit.
Well, here's the thing, and here's what's going to happen probably if they do impose at 18%. I don't know if you knew this or not, but the maximum that a lender can charge for a home equity line of credit is 18%, right? So the interest rate primarily represents the amount of risk that the borrower has, or represents to a lender. So if they are forced to only, like lend at 18%, the number of credit cards that they're probably going to issue is going to shrink, because now they have to account for a risk pool that's much less riskier because they can only charge so much interest. Hopefully that makes sense.
Credit card companies that violate the cap. But all eyes are still on the Fed.
We're not really sure where the Federal Reserve is going to be taking interest rates next. If they continue to hike rates, it could be more difficult for borrowers to pay down the debt. If they reduce interest rates, however, it will take some pressure off consumers, and they might be able to start making more consistent payments and reduce those delinquency rates.
Yeah. So I think the thing that always surprises me is that whenever I see like these credit card um news stories, like $1 trillion, it's like, oh, the average person only has like $6,000 of credit card debt. I want to see if they can. Yeah, the average consumer has around $6,000 of credit card debt, and I've been doing situations where people are like paying over $100,000 of credit card debt. Like, oh, whatever, no problem, no problem. And then it's like this one's like, it's the end of the world, $6,000 of credit card debt. I'm like, rolling my eyes. Why would I be rolling my eyes? I don't know. It's maybe because I just go over this thing right here, right? Step by step PDF. What do we get here? Is there a step by step PDF? Blank velocity banking spreadsheet. I wonder who provides that. Worksheet. Okay. The debt free secret. Okay. Maybe I can go through some of these in another video and evaluate them. But all right, well, that's it for today, folks. So Americans racked up $1 trillion credit card debt, and the average consumer only has $6,000 of credit card debt. And me with my $579,000 in lines of credit, what am I going to do with that? I don't know. But that's it for today, and I'll see you all in the next video.